I love it out here in the morning. But I got some stuff to do today. Then I can get back to milling. So I need to just stop yakking and get to work. Let's do it. Oh, I need to get that whole hydraulics part down. That thing is too tight. All right, now we got forks. I'm a pallet scrounger. You always need pallets. Basically, we need all the pallets we can get. Yeah, there you go. That's a usable pallet. All right, we're gonna get these pallets and we're gonna get them set up to stack and stick our lumber in the new lumber yard. That's this morning's mission, set up the lumber yard. We're gonna make a log yard out of the orchard. That'll be the new sawmill yard. We're gonna get that built, and that's gonna be so much better. And eventually, I'll put a roof over the sawmill in here and probably a roof over all of the sticker stack piles. I'm gonna just box it a little bit and see if I can just flatten it a little bit.
Hi folks, I'm the unpaid help. Here for fun, get to run a tractor. But they do feed me well, so I can't complain there. And the accommodations are quite nice up here in the forest. Getting a little tight over here. Go to the other side. So this is what happens when old vets get together. Besides telling stories, we build stuff. It's just what we do.
How's that? Look pretty good?
Yeah, except for that hump right there.
I could probably drag that.
Good. There you go.
Oh, that's pretty good, eh?
Yeah. So what are you thinking?
We're gonna have to toss those to the side because I want to use every pallet we got. Right? So unfortunately, we're gonna take those, toss them out of the way.
You want to lean them up against the fence, or you want to?
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Let's do that.
So what we're doing is we're making an L for the lumber to sit on. I don't know if he explained that to you or not. I'm Lance, by the way. I'm an Air Force vet. So we can mix different military vets out here. It's all good. Just a little dust. But we're making an L for the lumber to stack up. So we're leveling out the ground so that the lumber will stay level. Oh yeah.
I think we got it as good as it needs to be, better than it's ever been, but that'll work. So we can lay the next pallets down here, and what we can do is I'll get the.
Started with this one?
Yeah, actually that one, yeah, yeah, and just enough room. We want to make sure we've got enough room to walk in here and all that, you know. So I'd start it from here over, and then yeah, and then we'll just bring in 2 or 3 more, lay them there. And so I'll get the ATV and then we'll go up top and we'll pull those stickers, grab whatever can grab, one mizer, whatever. We'll bring them down, but we're not going to stack the dry stuff. We're going to bring it down and set it aside some way, somehow. I'm not sure how yet. Maybe more pallets. Let's see if we can find something to set them on. Maybe just, you know what I could do? I could take that one that's already cut. Yeah, just cut it into like 3-foot sections.
Yeah.
All right, let me go do that. That's good. That's good. Take that, set that down. This thing's not idling. It's idling.
Yeah.
That saw needs a tune-up. All right, well, we gotta go up top. Finally time to move that pile and that pile, which are now dry, down below. I'm not going to be milling up here anymore, so I'll be cleaning all this up and getting all this stuff ready to burn and all those logs. Folks, when you mill for other people, your logs rot sometimes, and that's my problem. So I'm not milling for anybody else. Well, maybe one or two, but I've got to get my own milling done because I got to get these logs milled up that are any good still, and the ones that aren't, well, they're firewood now. I've still got lots to bring down. Forest's too thick here, and thick forests make hot burning fires. Folks, we got to thin them out, and I need to thin mine out, and you know what? The DNR is working with me to get it thinned out. So we're going to get that done, but first I got to get all of my lumber piles moved, and I've got to get pallets and stickers and things put where they need to be. So let's get her done. All right, many of you may be wondering why I move piles of lumber around. You know, I often think about it myself, but it's usually because I had a good idea at the time, and then a year later or whatever, that idea is no longer as good as it was before. I didn't have a log yard, and I thought I was going to build it up here, but it was just not that convenient having it up here with the cabin, you know, down there. And in the winter, it made it really inconvenient. And I decided, you know what, that's it. The orchard's died. I'm gonna build a log yard there. I can build lean-tos for lumber there. I can do all that kind of stuff. So that's where it's gonna be. And that's why we're moving it again. Now this is all dry, so I can actually move it to where I can start working with it. This is a year old. But that's why we're moving it. And this will all get cleaned up and turned back into fields, and I'll quit worrying about all the lumber up here. It'll be all down there. So I gotta get down there, and we got to get all these stickers unloaded, get everything set up. Then we got to come back and get these D-logs, and I got a plan for those. So we're going to take those down there and get that done, get everything set up. And then I got to get all that green lumber and stack and sticker that green lumber in its new location. That's why I didn't do it yesterday, where it'll all be stacked by 2x4, 2x6, 1 by whatever, will all be stacked in separate piles, so that no more will I be fishing through a 4-foot tall, you know, sticker stack pile of lumber that's been there for 3 or 4 or 6 months looking for some 2x that are at the very bottom. We're done with that, folks. So now that I've actually got time to do my own stuff, it's time to get organized and get her done. put a lot of lumber on there, and I think that must have got a little cockeyed on that. You see all that moon dust, folks? That is terrible stuff. This time of year, it's so dry, even with the rainfall we've had, that it just gets terrible. Got 6s and 8s and... Oh, okay. You weren't too centered though.
Huh?
I think you weren't too centered. But that's okay. Beggars can't be choosers.
Watch yourself.
Now,
Why don't you just lead him?
I can, but you're going to be here while I do.
Oh, no.
Okay. You get some B-roll.
I'll get the B-roll of the cougar and the bear.
You got your gun on?
No.
be a pass. It's gonna be a butt.
Not much of a pass.
Doesn't matter, that's butt there.
Go fair next.
That's short. We want to go. That little one should go on the back wall. We'll put it on that back wall. It's tight. It's actually longer than me.
Good on the outside.
We've got short ones mixed in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Leave that. Yeah. So we gotta keep going. We're gonna go. This is the butt on this side. If we're gonna do it right, we need to go all the way to the inside of here. Right there. Hey, good morning. I'm enjoying the week, folks. It's been awesome. It's getting cool in the morning, into the 40s, which my buddy Lance is staying in a tent. You might be able to see it over there. So it's a little chilly for him. The cabin isn't that big. It's not really a cabin made for lots of people in it yet. I'm trying to get an addition built for it. In fact, that's what this is, folks. Now, I realize this looks like I'm building a cabin here, but I'm just really using this as a way to stage my D-logs. And the next batch of D-logs will go on this structure, and it'll just keep going until I know I've got enough to start building the walls. I do need to debark these. I did not before. It's okay if I get blue stain. I don't care about that. However, if I leave that bark on, it's prone to get bark beetles, and that's not good. I don't want those in my wall. One of the challenges I faced was having the time to not just mill these logs, but to get them debarked, and we're going to change that, folks. Absolutely going to change that. I'm going to be working a lot more on getting those done, and that is why I'm standing where I'm standing today. This is going to be my new log yard. So I'm kind of excited about that. I'm actually going to have a log yard. I'm actually going to be able to set the mill up here and maybe even put a roof over it. And I'd like to put a roof not just over the sawmill, but also over my drying stacks and dry lumber. And then the D-log structure over there, I've placed it there so that, one, I get to see what I'm doing, but also so you can. This is what I've milled already, but I've got a ton more milling to do. And one of the challenges of milling for a bunch of other folks is that it wasn't milling for myself, right? The mechanic that doesn't fix his own car. So I've got to get to doing that. I'm going to get to milling. And I have been doing some milling this trip. I've got to get my green lumber stacked up over here. I'm moving all my stuff over here except for the dry stuff that I dropped over on the other side. And that's there so that I can pick it up in the truck and haul it home, or bring it over here to finish up my back room. What we got here is all the flitches and whatever else I milled way back when I first started milling those 6-inch D-logs. And I'm going to use this for paneling in the back room. I've probably shown this a little bit, but we've been working really hard in trying to get this thinning project underway. So you could see there, that's about 4 feet, 5 feet tall, 20 feet wide all the way around or in diameter. And then this one here is about, 30 feet long, 4 or 5 feet tall. Lance has been running the tractor for me and really getting A lot of the slash moved. And then up here, let's just take a stroll up here. I'll drop a link down below in the description for the video on this one. We started working up here on this, you know, the thinning that we needed to do. Having a bad back, it has made it so I'm not walking like I used to. And up here at 3,200 feet, when I live at 400, even after being up here a week, I'm huffing and puffing. Got to work on this gut. All right, well, so we started here. Some of these we knocked down before, but then we really started knocking them down. The saplings here. Also knocked some down here, but you can see we've really knocked this down, and that's awesome. It was something I wanted to get done. So we've really kind of got, you know, a fair amount cleaned up in here. So, but we're getting there. We spent probably an hour and a half during the heat of the day because it was more shade over here. That was awesome. So that's where we're at today. You can see a little better down there. Got to make a run to town today. Get a little bit of supplies. We've been up here a week. And got to do a couple business things. So I'll be checking in online, doing a little grocery shopping, and we'll be right back up here for the rest of the week and into the weekend. We're actually going to get the shooting range, which is right down there. We're going to get that cleaned up, maybe do a little shooting. If you'd like to see the shooting, drop a comment down below, let me know. The old jarhead can still shoot, not as good as he could when he could see better, that's for sure. But anyway, we've got a lot of work to do, and I really appreciate you being here. And by the way, folks, if you like this video, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Really helps the channel out. I'm going to drop another video right up here for you. Appreciate you watching, folks. Y'all have a great day. The old jarhead out.